In a year, we probably spend $300,000, sometimes more, just on clothing.
I have concocted a lot of schemes in my day of getting back at people, but this one right here, it's the crown jewel. You know, they cannot help it. They'll let their mouth write a check their ass can't cash.
The Chrisleys are a family that shot to fame after they launched their reality TV show, Chrisley Knows Best. Todd Chrisley is the star of the show alongside his wife, Julie Chrisley. The show was a hit and amassed millions of fans and viewers, and along with the show, Todd is also a successful businessman and landlord. In a 2016 interview conducted by Wendy Williams, Todd admitted that he was greedy. He even said that he would have intimate relations with a man if he was paid for it. So, someone as materialistic as Todd definitely has some crazily expensive items he actually spent on. Keep watching to find out what they are. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Topish. We have some exciting stories that are full of lip-smacking delicacies, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. With that being said, let's begin. Todd Chrisley, despite being quite a big celebrity now, actually comes from quite a modest and humble family. He was born in Georgia and was then raised in South Carolina. He studied hard and went on to become a very successful real estate agent. He even had his own company which dealt in foreclosure asset management called Chrisley Asset Management. After the TV reality show Chrisley Knows Best starring him was launched in 2014, he gained widespread recognition almost overnight. Since he was now basically a celebrity, his net worth had increased quite a lot. The Chrisleys' estimated net worth in 2022 is around $1.5 million. A primary source of income for Todd is his reality TV show Chrisley Knows Best that's gained millions of followers worldwide. He's earned millions of dollars from the show alone. And the show also inspired a spin-off series, Growing Up Chrisley, which follows his kids, Chase and Savannah, in Los Angeles. Growing Up Chrisley launched on April 2nd, 2019, and Todd has also gathered a collection of Georgian real estate, and those properties also cost a fortune. Another source of income for Todd is the performances and sponsorships that he's offered. For example, he appeared in a cameo in the movie Sharknado: The Fourth Awakens. And additionally, his real estate business is also working in full swing, bringing in millions of dollars. In the beginning, most of the Chrisley family's income came from the real estate business. Supposedly, commercial and residential properties that were in need of rehabilitation and liquidation were also taken on as projects by Chrisley Asset Management's company. The company has been founded for some time in between 2002, but unfortunately it had to shut down in 2008. This was mainly due to the downfall of the real estate industry. Todd Chrisley has also been involved in 2 different bankruptcy cases after being over $20 million in debt in 2012. His asset management company has completely shut down and also filed for bankruptcy in 2013. When he filed for bankruptcy in 2012, allegedly, he only had $4.2 million in assets and around $55 in his bank account, and only $100 in cash, while being $50 million in debt. The mortgage on his Atlanta mansion came to a total of $12 million. He also reportedly owed $600,000 in IRS late fees, debts, and penalties, and due to this, the Chrisley family was forced to make a lifestyle change because of their financial hardships. While Todd Chrisley has made numerous appearances in many TV shows, he launched his own Chrisley Knows Best in 2014. This show became a hit almost instantly because it showed the daily life and real life of real estate tycoon Todd Chrisley. The show gets a lot of conflicting opinions, with some hating it and some saying it's the best family reality TV show ever. The American publication Entertainment Weekly commented on the show's dialogue and plot, saying that it was too cliché. However, they did compliment the Chrisleys and their team on their sense of humor. Chrisley filed for bankruptcy in 2012, so how did he afford his lavish lifestyle shown in the series? If he only had $4.2 million with $55 in his account and only $100 in cash, along with his over $20 million in debt, how did he buy all the cars and houses that he did? In a recent court case, a bankruptcy trustee testified that he had actually hidden about $1 million worth of assets under his wife Julie's name. The Chrisleys and their lawyers claim that this is not true. Assistant U.S. Attorney Annalise Peters claimed that the couple, with the help of their willing accountant Peter Tarantino, exaggerated their income on multiple official documents to be able to borrow more than $30 million in loans. She claimed that they made up documents and lied to get whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. According to the prosecutors, the Chrisleys took out fraudulent loans that they acquired with false documents from various community banks in order to pay these loans off. They took out more loans using more fake documents. Subsequently, they racked up a debt of over $20 million, and Peters also alleged that Todd and Julie Chrisley had hidden funds from the IRS by transferring the ownership of their corporate account to Julie Chrisley. After they started investigating Julie as well, the ownership was transferred to Todd's mother, Nanny Faye. She claims that she did not read the document, nor does she remember signing the document. The Chrisleys' lawyer, on the other hand, stated that one of their former employees, Matt Braddock, committed the crimes behind their back and framed them to get revenge. Todd Chrisley claims that the millions of dollars he has are all from his real estate business. But in 2019, he was accused of tax evasion and bank fraud, something that would explain the many millions of dollars he had. Allegedly, Todd and Julie collected over $20 million in fraudulent loans that they acquired by submitting false documents to several different community banks. Though Todd did earn a lot of his wealth from his asset management company before it shut down. Therefore, the focus of the show is more about their life and displaying their fortune by buying luxurious houses, cars, and more. Apparently, it's rumored that Todd Chrisley spends about $300,000 a year just on his clothing. Irrespective of what hardships, financial or otherwise, the Chrisleys go through, they always show off their incredible wealth and lavish lifestyle. Before the Chrisleys became famous, they and former business partner allegedly submitted false documents to various community banks in the Atlanta area to obtain millions of dollars in loans. They spent this money abundantly on luxury cars, designer clothes, real estate, and travel. They acquired new fraudulent loans to be able to pay off the old ones, and after this, Todd Chrisley filed for bankruptcy and walked off free from more than $20 million in debt loans. While Todd was busy in the bankruptcy proceedings, Julie created false financial documents to be able to rent a house they wanted in California. However, once they bought it, moved in it, and lived in it for around a month, they found themselves unable to pay the rent and were naturally evicted by the property owner. Apparently, the Chrisleys kept their corporate accounts under Julie's names to avoid the collection of $500,000 that Todd owed to the IRS. When they were asked for information regarding those bank accounts, they promptly transferred the ownership of those accounts to Todd's mother, Nanny Faye, to further hide their income from tax authorities. Recently, it's been revealed that the Chrisleys' income might include unpaid taxes and fraudulent loans they got by illegal means. Furthermore, it's claimed that their accountant Peter Tarantino helped them by filing false tax returns. Todd and Julie say that a former employee framed them by stealing from the family, using their names to commit the crimes. They were ultimately found guilty but were released on bond, and they're currently placed on house arrest and cannot leave their home except for work, medical appointments, and court appearances. Unfortunately, due to all of this, Todd's net worth has been on a steady decline and is now negative. Todd from Chrisley Knows Best is reportedly $5 million in debt, and the Chrisleys have quite a history of financial and legal drama. Recently, they were indicted by a grand jury for tax evasion and bank and wire fraud, and in the beginning of his career, Todd made quite a lot of money through real estate. The majority of his fortune comes from the money he earned during this time. Unfortunately, however, the reality TV star has been involved in 2 major bankruptcy cases over the years. Yes, that's right, folks. Todd Chrisley has filed for bankruptcy not once, but twice. He filed for Chapter 7 in 2012, 2 years before his reality TV show Chrisley Knows Best began, and he claimed that he was $50 million in debt. Additionally, his investment firm Chrisley Asset Management filed for corporate bankruptcy in 2013. So in the short span of just 2 years, Todd had filed for personal as well as corporate bankruptcy. As a result of this financial setback, the Chrisley family was forced to limit their expenditure and scale their lifestyle down. Nowadays, it's assumed that the Chrisley family's main source of income is the reality TV series, its spin-off shows, cameos in movies, appearances on talk shows, and all the sponsorship gigs they've received from becoming reality TV stars. Even with all the money he was making, he tried to sue his first wife for child support. His first wife's name is Teresa Terry, and they got married because Teresa had become pregnant. They've said that there hadn't been a pregnancy involved, they would have probably ended up not getting married. Teresa claimed that Todd would physically abuse and batter her and his mother, Nanny Faye. However, Todd has denied all of these allegations all throughout the divorce proceedings and even afterward. Todd and Teresa over custody of their 2 children, Lindsay and Kyle Chrisley. Their divorce was finalized in 1996, and eventually the court gave them joint custody of both children. They had another child custody battle sometime in 2000, and Todd even sued Teresa for $1 million in child support in 2012. However, he did lose that case. Todd Chrisley began his career as a real estate investor, and after a while he signed a contract with Fannie Mae that let him buy properties and resell them for a profit. In 2004, he founded his own company, Chrisley Asset Management. This company invested in retail, entertainment, media, and asset management. Chrisley Asset Management was registered at the Federal National Mortgage Association in America. However, Chrisley experienced a financial crisis in 2008. This hurt his large budget, and profits from the company started dwindling. As a result of this crisis, he was compelled to file for bankruptcy, which led to a loss of $49 million. Supposedly, Todd Chrisley owes quite a lot of people, and even the government, millions of dollars. Yet, we don't see it in the way he lives. The Chrisley family live in a mansion that's worth $2 million, and Todd is always dressed to the nines in sharp, expensive suits. He's also said in an interview before that he spends more than $300,000 just on his clothes and outfits. As we can plainly see in the show, the Chrisleys always go to fine dining restaurants. Even when they go on vacations, they always stay at the most premium luxury hotels. In August 2017, the estimated production deal for the TV show Chrisley Knows Best was $75 million. His net worth was reported to be around $46 million, though, although he has a debt of $49 million. This has led his net worth to becoming a negative $5 million. However, for someone with a negative net worth, he sure does have a pretty luxurious life. He owns quite a few cars, including an Audi, a Range Rover, and a Mercedes-Benz. The Range Rover is estimated to cost between $12,339 and $14,891 in the market. He's also the owner of a lucrative television brand. The Chrisleys' Georgia mansion is about 30,000 square feet, complete with a huge heated saltwater pool and a hot tub for the backyard. The house also has an outdoor terrace with a fireplace and a children's playground, and they have 2 grandiose living rooms, a study, an entire wine cellar, and a home gym. The bedrooms are big enough that even 10 people could sleep comfortably in one bedroom. This property was initially listed for $7 million back in 2007, and since then it's been on and off the market before it was finally sold for $1.2 million in 2014. Todd also owns another house in Nashville. He bought it in 2015 and the family moved in immediately. It's a beautiful white European villa that cost him $1.6 million and occupies 13,279 square feet. There is about an acre of a perfect lawn surrounding the house, and the villa has 6 bedrooms and 11 bathrooms. In June 2019, the Chrisley family paid an estimate of $3.4 million for a third house close to Nashville. In April 2019, Julie Chrisley bought a posh mansion in Brentwood, Tennessee for $3,375,000. The property had been sold by former hockey player Mike Ribeiro, who'd been playing with the Nashville Predators. Once the Chrisleys acquired the estate, they immediately went to work and renovated the entire house. The renovated mansion was put back on the market 2 months later for $4.75 million. The mansion itself was built in 2013, and it is a 12,753 square foot with a high-end finish. The highlights of the house include a formal dining room with wallpaper that's been painted on by hand, a rec room, a wine cellar, an indoor court for all kinds of sports, and an office with wooden paneling and a decorative ceiling. The mansion also has a beautiful covered patio complete with fireplace and a barbecue station. It also has a pool and a spa. The Chrisley family leased a posh place in Suwanee, Georgia in 2014 in order to always be camera ready for their appearances in their TV show. After they had to leave their estate in Roswell, the Suwanee house was the backdrop of their series. The estate itself was built in 2006 and covers 7,800 square feet. It also sits on the 6th hole of the River Club golf course, and the house was built based on a customized design. It boasts of a fireplace, dual closets, and golf course views. It was often the focus of numerous scenes in the TV show Chrisley Knows Best. When it finally came back to the luxury rental market in 2016, the monthly lease was a steep $8,000. The mansion popped back up on the market in February 2022 for $1,949,000. It was subsequently sold a month later for $1,868,000. The family also owned another home in Atlanta area, and the house was reportedly the home of Todd Chrisley's mother, Elizabeth Chrisley, also known as Nanny Faye on the show. The brick house had 4 bedrooms and covered 3,000 square feet. It was bought for $452,900 in 2005, and it came back onto the market and was later sold for $540,000 in 2017. Julie and Todd's eldest daughter, Savannah Chrisley, is a former teen pageant winner. She's also launched her own fashion line on HSN, and she's also established her own cosmetics company and owns a home in the Franklin, Tennessee. Her earning is yet another stream of income into the Chrisley family. Savannah bought her Franklin home in 2016 for $681,000. The residence has 4 bedrooms and covers 3,300 square feet. It has wooden floors, built-ins, a fireplace, an open kitchen, and a dining area. She also used to own a midtown condo in Nashville, and she had bought it for $515,000 in 2017. Then she sold it in 2021 for $605,000. Todd and Julie's son Kyle Chrisley and his wife Alexis Chrisley bought a 2,900 square foot home in 2017 for $252,390. The house had 5 bedrooms and was located in Canton, Georgia. The residence was ABC in the market in April 2022 and was sold by the couple a month later for $525,000. After the family became famous through Chrisley Knows Best, they moved from Atlanta to Nashville in 2016. They bought a home that cost $1.6 million and settled down in the Belle Meade neighborhood. The house is one that is usually shown in their reality TV show. The house was built in 2014, coincidentally the same year their series was first released. It covers 5,229 square feet and a level lawn and patio that take up just a little over half an acre. The mansion has 4 bedrooms, a living room with numerous sets of French doors, an open kitchen with a huge island, a wet bar, along with 2 fireplaces. This estate is about 16 kilometers from their Brentwood mansion. They moved into the Brentwood mansion after a while of living in Belle Meade, claiming that their home had begun to draw unwanted attention from tourists. Before moving to Nashville, the Chrisley family reported living in a series of homes in Georgia. In 2006, Todd bought a mansion at the Buckhead neighborhood in Atlanta for $9 million. The beautiful European-style mansion covered 16 acres and had 8 bedrooms. Unfortunately, he lost the house to foreclosure in 2012. In an episode in Season 1 of Chrisley Knows Best, Todd had mentioned starting a new business. He revealed that he had even rented the space for a department store and that he was working towards its launch. However, the Chrisley and Company department store business idea was never talked about again after the end of Season 1. So what happened to the novel idea? Apparently, the department store never got to its opening, and it's quite unlikely that the series will ever revisit this storyline again. Back in 2016, Todd fell into financial hardships and had to cut back on a few luxuries. This could be why the business was never spoken about again, neither by the Chrisleys nor by the TV team behind the show. No more information has ever been provided about Todd's business ideas, yet there are fans who still hope that the Chrisley and Company department store will open one day. Many continue asking about the venue until their queries are answered, either by this series or by the Chrisley family. In a July 29th episode of Chrisley Confessions, Todd confessed that he became a slave to money and his reality TV success. He added, "I got lost when I couldn't tell the difference between my self-worth and my net worth. And the bigger my net worth became, the less I focused on my self-worth because everything was being built around that net worth, around stuff." He went on saying that in order to keep up with everyone around him, he began buying all these luxurious but unnecessary cars and houses. He said that he became a slave to the things that he thought would be bringing him peace. So he got lost in that world because he was too ignorant, in the sense that he didn't understand how to differentiate between self-worth and net worth. In a 2016 interview with Wendy Williams, Todd Chrisley even admitted to being open to relationships with men for money. Williams told him she had heard that he had been nominated for King of Reality, and Todd's response was quick and left the audience cheering. He said, "King or Queen, whichever you believe." Later, he was asked to elaborate on his response, to which he said that many of his viewers and fans regularly call him a queen. Apparently, this is because he's quite focused on his appearance, his dressing, his hair, and his overall looks. He's very adamant that he looks proper all the time. He said that he did not care whether he won King or Queen of Reality because he would be getting money either way. Williams mentioned that currently he was married with a wife and many kids, but the people usually accuse him of being gay. Before she could complete her sentence, however, Todd interrupted by saying that people accuse him of being greedy. He went on to demonstrate his greediness by saying that he would have sexual or intimate relations with a man if he was paid for it. In fact, he said that he would be with a man only if he was paid enough money for his children, his grandchildren, and his great-grandchildren to be able to live comfortably. Todd has been accused of being gay quite often, and he actually spoke quite a lot about the rumors and questions about his sexuality on the Dominic Nadi show. Todd said, "In order for it to disappoint me, it would mean that I don't agree with someone being gay. I don't believe that's a choice you make. I believe that you're the way God has made you." Braddock has even testified that he allegedly had an intimate relationship with Chrisley. He said that they had an affair years ago, and after it ended, they had remained friends until Todd fired Matt in 2012. It had been during this time that they started getting messages from an anonymous source threatening to expose both their affair and the fraud they had committed. The text said, "Pay up and we'll shut up," and as the messages demanded, they decided to pay up. Braddock withdrew a total sum of $38,000 in installments of 4 and discreetly gave them to Chrisley in a parking garage. Allegedly, Todd Chrisley then gave his money to the blackmailer. Braddock also confessed to making false email addresses with fake names and sending incriminating information about Todd to news organizations and the US government to get revenge on Todd. The accountant that the Chrisleys had hired, Peter Tarantino, has also been found guilty of conspiracy to defraud the United States and 2 counts of willfully filing false tax returns. He was on trial along with the Chrisleys. Supposedly, Tarantino helped the Chrisleys hide income and file fake tax returns. They provided false documents to the IRS that Todd Chrisley did not have enough money to pay his tax debt from 2009. However, his production company was receiving money, which the Chrisleys used to cover personal expenses. In order to make it appear as if 7 Seas production wasn't doing well, they also submitted phony business tax filings. However, they have been convicted. The Chrisley family wanted to go on a luxurious Thanksgiving vacation to the beautiful Caribbean, hence Todd and Julie requested permission to go travel outside of the country for the holiday. The District of Georgia had papers from Todd and Julie filing an unopposed motion to temporarily amend travel conditions of release. They asked for permission to travel to the Grand Cayman Islands for a week to celebrate Thanksgiving. They reassured the court they would be traveling by commercial air and would be staying at a resort condominium. The flight itinerary and residence details were provided to the supervising pretrial services officer. They requested to be able to temporarily get back their passports for the purpose of their trip. They promised to return their passports the day after they came back to the United States, even after having been convicted of tax evasion. The Chrisleys had enough money to be able to afford a luxurious vacation in the beautiful Caribbean. Unfortunately, though, their request to travel for Thanksgiving vacation was denied and they had to stay at home. The judge ruled that while federal felony charges are pending, travel outside the United States is prohibited unless extraordinary circumstances arise. The condition is to set out to make sure that the accused remains within the jurisdiction of the court to ensure that they appear in court throughout the trial. It was judged that their request to travel to the Caribbean was denied because it did not present any special circumstances. Todd and Julie Chrisley have enjoyed a brunch to their heart's content just days before they were convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. They dined together at the popular Southern Comfort-style restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia. So even while going through the trial and being supposedly $5 million in debt, the Chrisley family was enjoying a tasty brunch. This was just 2 days after the jury began their deliberations, and they had brunch at the Atlanta's famous Peach and Pork Chop restaurant. The family looked happy and seemed to make the most of their time together. During the meal, Todd left the table to take a phone call that people speculate was related to the trial, and when he left, it seemed like a shadow overcame the table. Anyone could tell that the verdict was the only thing on people's minds. However, when he came back and joined the family, it was like the happy, carefree mood came back to the family. Later, Todd posted a reminder to his followers saying that God is always in control. The family brunch was quite possibly one of Todd and Julie's last public outings since the duo has been placed on house arrest. In the latest episode of their podcast, Chrisley Confessions, Todd Chrisley said that while he knew the fans would want to know every detail of what was going on in their lives, Todd wanted to ask them to respect that they're not allowed to talk about it. After their convictions, part 2 of their show's 9th season was released on June 23, 2022. However, at the time it was not clear whether the network planned to film the 10th season. However, as we now know, Chrisley Knows Best has been renewed for a 10th season, and the spin-off series Growing Up Chrisley featuring Savannah and Chase Chrisley in Los Angeles has also been renewed for a 4th season. A few days before the trial began, a new dating show named Love Limo was announced. In a surprise, they also revealed that the host of the show was set to be Todd Chrisley. The status of this TV show, along with whether Todd will still be the host, is yet unknown, although this does show a bit of hope for the family. The fact that both of their TV shows have been renewed for new seasons and a new series is in the works means that the steady flow of income into the Chrisley household shows no signs of stopping. Even if they are sentenced to the maximum that is 30 years in prison, the money will keep coming in to the Chrisley household. However, Todd and Julie's children, Savannah and Chase Chrisley, have stood by their parents' side throughout the trial. Savannah even took to Instagram to express her opinion, saying that life can be cruel and that everyone should always try to do the best they can. She reassured everyone that she would continue to stand by her family and fight for justice, not just for the Chrisleys, but also for all the others who had been wronged by the system. She said she couldn't say much more than that because of the legal boundaries, and she admitted that she felt let down by God, as if he was turning a blind eye to her unrelenting prayers. But she believes that God throws hardships our way so that we become stronger. Todd said that his children were doing the best they could, and he also mentioned that Savannah and Chase would probably take over the recording duties of the Chrisley Confessions podcast after the sentencing and keep fans updated to their lives. So it seems even after being sentenced, the Chrisley family will still have a steady flow of income into their household. While Todd and Julie await their sentences on their podcast, Chrisley Confessions, they told fans that they know all about the messages, the fan mail, the gifts, and flower arrangements that people have been leaving at their door as signs of love and support. They stated that instead of these materialistic gifts, they would rather like to accept thoughtful prayers, which people say is surprising since up until now they seem to have an immense liking towards materialistic things. They also revealed that while this had been a quite trying time for them, it had also been a very telling time. Many people who knew them personally reached out to support or help them, but many people also outright ignored them. Todd says that this helped them to realize who in their lives was real or fake. This goes to show that while the Chrisley family may have disagreements amongst themselves in public or even on their show, they're ultimately a family that loves each other and will support each other through thick and thin. Even though their legal woes, Todd and Julie Chrisley have kept in touch with their family. It isn't limited to just keeping in touch with each other. They're actively helping their family cope with the fact that they might face up to 30 years behind bars. While the couple are obviously worried about themselves too, they are more concerned about their family, mainly their children. In fact, it's quite a big question that everyone, including fans and followers of the Chrisley Knows Best, want to know the answer to. Who will be the guardian of the Chrisley children, like Chloe and Grayson, who are still minors? Fans theorize that Savannah or Chase Chrisley could take them in and take care of them. Another theory says that since Chloe has started bonding with her biological father, Kyle Chrisley, again, she should go back to him. Although that seems unlikely with Kyle's previous assault charge, substance abuse history, and his bipolar disorder. Add to that the fact that nobody even knows where Chloe's biological mother is currently, and that option seems mostly impossible. Some other fans concluded that the judge could possibly give the Chrisleys back-to-back sentences. This means that either Julie or Todd will serve their time first, and then the other parents will go to jail to serve their sentence, after the first one has completed theirs. This would allow them to continue to care for their children without obstacles or any time away from them. However, it would make it so that Julie and Todd won't have time to be together if they both have to serve 30 years. However, luckily enough, as of now, the Chrisleys will be getting one more month of freedom before they're finally sentenced. They were originally scheduled to receive their sentence on October 6, 2022, however, it has been pushed back to November 21, 2022. The maximum sentence they could get would be up to 30 years in prison after they were both found guilty on all counts. Todd Chrisley was convicted of conspiracy to commit bank fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and tax evasion. Julie, Todd's wife, was found guilty of wire fraud and obstruction of justice, along with the same federal charges of which her husband was guilty. In addition to the change in their sentencing schedule, the couple has also filed a joint motion for a second trial, stating that a witness had lied on the stand during their previous trial. They claim that an IRS revenue officer named Betty Carter lied about the Chrisleys owing taxes, and they claim she also lied about the years that she knew no taxes from the Chrisleys were due. They added that the government presented this and failed to correct this false testimony. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Leave a comment below to let us know what you think will happen next with the Chrisleys. Like and share this video to stay up to date on their progress, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Topish keeps you up to date on all the latest Hollywood celebrity news, drama, and gossip. Subscribe to our channel and check back for new videos and updates, and we'll see ya in the next video.